Hey everyone, welcome back to the RPGames YouTube channel. My name is Ralph. This is the life and suffering of Sir Brante. Previous episode, we were punished by a girl because she got trampled by a bunch of horses and I couldn't save her. And now she doesn't want to talk to me. Can you believe that? That's harsh. Sophia disappeared after a terrible incident with the horses. Her friends gossiped that her parents sent her off to serve a rich noble dynasty. You haven't seen each other since that day. You still remember Sophia's eyes, the sunlight shining in them. No matter what, life goes on. You're 10 years old now. Your studies continue. You're learning more about the land you live in. And Izati is an ancient city in an imperial province by the name of Magra. All soil in Magra was turned to ash eons ago, scorched by magic during the rebellion of Duke Charles Millenades. Magical arts are all but gone now, but the scorched earth has remained barren and infertile ever since. Since then, the entire province was lain barren, tormented by cold and scorching winds in equal measure, with few precious plants taking a root on their own. All fertile land in Magra is bought elsewhere, and brought here by an endless caravan of carts and carriages. To pay for food and soil, the cities of Magra became skilled in many trades, primarily mining and digging for metals and stone. Last fall there was an explosion just outside the city, followed by clouds of thick smoke. The first such incident frightened the citizens, but then explosions and smoke became an everyday occurrence. Soon everyone grew used to it. Father explains that the miners are using a new invention called gunpowder. Makes it easier for them to reach the precious stones and metals buried deep within the earth. Then one day a thunderous explosion rocks the city and black billowing smoke covers the houses. People are stuck in their homes, all windows tightly shut. The air is impossible to breathe. Nathan coughs all the time. Gloria and you cough only when nobody's watching. If Mother hears it, she'll make you inhale those hot herbal vapors, just like Nathan. It takes 2 days for the black smoke to disperse. People pour out onto the streets to meet their friends. Thomas is eager to share everything he knows about the incident with you. They took lots of burned up people to the city temple. Mom told me she was helping the healers. There are many rumors. Some claim it was the work of a beast stirred from its slumber, while others say it's the surviving witches that continue to threaten the order of the Empire with their accursed powers. But as for you, you patiently wait for Father to come back home and then you'll ask him about it. Father spends day and night working at the prefecture, while Mother spends all her time in prayer. It takes a full week for Father to finally come home, and he almost completely spent. You muster enough courage during dinner to ask him what happened outside the city. Father raises his head, his face a bleak, weary mask, and starts muttering his proclamation. It's almost as if he doesn't see you. It's the mine outside the city. They were trying to get a vein of ore. There was an explosion, the mine caved in, and the black smoke started flowing. Many workers died there. It was all because Count El Velasco, who owns the mines, wanted them to start mining the vein before they were ready. Some of the workers weren't even reborn. Perhaps the twins thought their final time had come. The prefecture has been inundated with complaints from families that have lost their breadwinners, asking the judges for help. Many people also lost their cattle to the black smoke. Count Velasco blames gunpowder for the disaster. The prefecture and the newspaper just repeat whatever he says, but it's plain old greed and tyranny of noblemen that are to blame. Why is the welfare of our province always paid with the commoner lives? Then without warning he grows silent again. You keep thinking about it for days. Can a human life really end so easily? A single moment of bad luck and you die? Only to re-emerge from the temple or the family crypt with a new black mark on your arm? Or worse, you remain where you fell, dead, never to be reborn again. Never. During lunch, Father tells you to stay home in the evening and prepare to meet some important guests. Your elder brother Stephan will return home by dinner tonight. Joining him will be your grandfather Gregor Brante, as well as a noble friend of the family. You're excited about your brother's return. It has been years since you last saw him. How has he changed during his years away from home? I think we're gonna be very disappointed. You and Father await the guests anxiously. Doorbell rings, 3 people are standing outside. Grandfather is the first to come in naturally. He's not changed a bit since his last visit, still eyeing the house with contempt, looking for any reason to demean it. Grandfather is followed by a stately young man dressed in a jacket embroidered in silver, whom you barely recognize as your brother. Stephan casts a glance at your threadbare clothes, your dirty fingernails, and smirks. Look at him with the head shaved on the sides there. The last to enter the house is a personable gentleman with a worn-out, wrinkled face. You've heard a lot about this man from Father and Grandfather. He is Baron Augustin Alborn, Stephan's uncle, a family friend and the province's prefect, which means that he is the head judge, and thus Father's superior. Sir Alborn smiles lightly and offers you his hand. This must be your youngest son Randolph, yes? You have your father's eyes, young man. Father bows slightly to Grandfather and Sir Alborn, but there is a moment of quiet when Stephan's turn comes. Father reaches out to him awkwardly, expecting an embrace. There's a question in Stephan's eyes as he looks at Grandfather. The old man shakes his head almost imperceptibly. We noblemen oughtn't put our emotions on public display, Father, not even after a lengthy separation. There is no embrace. Instead, Stephan nods to Father curtly. He responds in kind, their face devoid of emotion. After the greeting, you proceed to the sitting room. Alborn is first to enter. He kisses Mother's hand and Gloria's too. Tussles Nathan's hair after he sees him hiding by the table. Grandfather acknowledges them with a glum nod. Greetings, Lydia Brante. I remember you were kind to me when I was but a child. And you must be Nathan, you could barely walk when I saw you last. Your elder brother ignores Gloria completely, not even a greeting. You proceed to the dining room in a dignified manner. Take your seats. The dishes smell deliciously, but they merely punctuate the overwhelming tension at the table. Alborn is the only one with a friendly smile on his face. The dinner is splendid, Lydia. Did you choose the dishes yourself? You have a truly refined palate. It warms my heart to know Stephan spent his early years with you. Womanly care always does a child good, no matter the estate. Your fork freezes in the air halfway to your mouth. You expect many things from a noble of the sword, but words of praise for a low-born woman are not one of them. You cast a glance at Grandfather. He looks like he's about to choke on those words. It would do my grandson more good to stay at boarding school among his equals. Please, Gregor. Parenting is no less important. Nothing can replace a mother's love, I cannot deny it. It saddens me greatly that my late sister could not be there to raise Stephan. There was still a family for him, and he was surrounded by love. How could that be bad? And besides, his father was by his side all the while. A father's example is always the best. After all, Robert earned the judge's rank the same way you did. Your grandson will surely follow in your footsteps. And who knows, perhaps even the younger men of the Brante family will contribute to the... You clumsy, low-born cretin. Here we go. Go, Grandpa. Everybody is startled by this sudden outburst. Grandfather's face turns red. He's glaring at a young lady servant holding a pitcher over a glass. Stephan is sitting right next to her, dabbing a napkin on a fresh stain on his jacket. Oh, okay. I thought he was talking to the noble like that. Damn. Begone this instant! The lady servant runs away, leaving the pitcher on a small table by the door. After a quiet moment, Alborn smiles again. It appears the servants have left us, yet dinner is far from over. Worry not, uncle. There are enough commoners at this table to keep us served with food and drink. Oh, talk about a burn! Stephan glares at Gloria across the table. She's sitting right next to you. She shrinks down and hunches over under his gaze. Father furrows his brows. Mother covers her mouth with trembling hands. Grandfather sneers. Stephan's gaze does not move. The silence lasts for far too long. Then she starts to rise from her chair. If the Brante gentleman so wish it, Your hands clench into fists under the table. How can he bring himself to humiliate his own family, his own mother and sister like this? It's all grandfather's doing. Stephan could not even bring himself to embrace father without his permission. And yet they're noblemen. They have the right to act this way. If there is any way this dinner can become even more unbearable, you do not want to see it. This is gonna give me willpower. Small talk over dinner. And insult my brother. Yeah, that's not gonna happen. So it's either one of these two. I have no willpower whatsoever. But I want to become a noble. Let's try to act like nothing happened and make small talk with the guests. Moving stiffly, Gloria takes the wine pitcher and starts refilling the glasses. You turn away from your sister, eager to distract yourself from her presence somehow. So you ask Sir Elborn how you may contribute to the family legacy. He turns to you, clearly relieved. Your eagerness to support the family betrays your noble bearing, young man. It is simple, always remember that you are a Brante. Your family has a path of its own. You must follow in the footsteps of your father and grandfather and learn the judge's trade. You keep asking questions about the life and duty of a nobleman, trying not to look as Gloria continues serving the table. Sir Elborn is eager to explain the nobleman must always live with honor in mind, and imperial law stands higher. There are 3 lots and 3 estates, naturally, can never be equal, yet the law must govern those who live within each estate. You have a hard time understanding some of the things the prefect of Magra says, but his intellect is stunning. The dinner ends, Gloria takes away the last of the dirty dishes and disappears quietly from the dining room. Sir Elborn cordially bids you farewell. Grandfather and Stephan are still as haughty as ever, but they are clearly pleased. Pleased with what, you wonder? The dinner? A glorious humiliation. Then you go to sleep. Your sister is sobbing in the next room loud enough that you hear her. Man. Okay, we're honorable at least. Hot dry winds sweep through the city from the barren lands around it. The noble residents of Anizotti prefer to remain in their chambers, while the commoners huddle in tents or in the shade of the silver tree. You're on an errand right now. Your father wrote a letter to a noble acquaintance, and you are to deliver it. Thomas, the boy down the street, is tagging along. The 2 of you are inseparable now. The errand is an easy one, so you decide to take this opportunity to loiter around the part of Anizotti where the nobles live. Here you are, in the middle of the city square, resting on an ancient brickwork by the old fountain, the merciful shade of the gargantuan silver tree. Thomas is by your side, lazily slouching on the edge of the fountain's basin. It's a hard life for commoners like you and me. Either you break your back in a workshop day and night, hoping someone will buy your goods someday, or you become a manservant to some noble. You never get a chance to enjoy life. This is our lot, you remind him. We work and endure and suffer. But Thomas waves your words away. Yeah, I know all that already. Mara keeps drilling that stuff into me. We must be humble, our strength is patience, persistence, yada yada. So I say, I want to make my fortune no matter what. But how ain't that living by my lot, I ask you? That's heresy, Thomas. Pure heresy. But the lots, they ain't easy. Let's take you for example, Brante. Your father's a nobleman, but even if that didn't make you one. Just look at our hands. You never had to work as hard as me, but we have the same lot. So we're supposed to suffer the same. Look at your father. He's a judge. He tolls at the prefecture day and night doing his judging. And he's a noble. Never seen an Arknian work as hard as he does. You shrug. The Arknians are a different race. The books say they were born to rule over humans. They're never commoners, always nobles of the sword by birth. They founded the empire after subduing all the human kingdoms on the continent. Humans will never be their equals. Arknians are always better, smarter, stronger, and their skin is a noble shade of blue. The books are to be believed, of course. You've never seen one yourself. Your idle chatter is suddenly interrupted by a rugged-looking guardsman dressed in black and green. He chases you away from the fountain. Common rebel like you have no place here. You hear the clattering of hooves and wheels against the cobblestones and see flags bearing a coat of arms. A sable serpent on a field of vert. Makes you squirm. It's the same carriage that killed Sophia. It's the Archduke's coat of arms. The Melades dynasty. Carriage door opens, revealing a young lady in a luxurious dress. You cannot look away from her. Damn. Yeah. Hey there. Those dainty shoulders, suggested but not revealed by the cut of her dress. Her black hair cascading over them. Her stately, slim silhouette. Her pouty lips and prim nose. And those eyes, dark like the night sky. The way she moves, fluidly, gracefully. And most incredible of all, her skin glows in azure blue. She is a masterpiece given life. Wow, has anyone ever heard a compliment like this before? Like, what would a woman think if you would tell her, "You are a masterpiece given life"? I'm gonna try that someday. She's an Arknian. Clear the way for me. The Melanides guardsmen work quickly to clear the way to the fountain for the Arknian lady. The searing sun dances on her skin in bizarre patterns. With one elegant motion, she reveals a handkerchief, then leans over the basin and wipes her head and neck with its cold water. Well, that's Octavia Melanides, her Archduke's own daughter. The Arknian turns away and proceeds gracefully back to the carriage. You see something slip out of her hand and fall into the cobblestones right next to you. Her handkerchief. It's right there by your feet. Oh no, I cannot give it back. No! Oh, I need willpower, damn it. Intricate craftsmanship, expensive woven fabric, delicately decorated by emerald filigree. Your heart skips a beat. Will you dare draw the beautiful Arknian attention in order to return her lost possession? Or would you rather not attempt to cross the chasms between you and her? Man, that sucks. I would love to have been able to do this. I should have joined my sister in serving these dickheads. Okay, we can stash the trophy, which gives us 5 willpower at least. Or we can keep the handkerchief as a momentum. What is the difference? Just that we get +1 relationship with Thomas? Okay, no, I'm gonna get 10 willpower now. Man! You carefully observe Lady Octavia as she leaves. Her delicate figure moves through the square like a walking dream, her elegant hands gliding through the air, her hair flowing in the light breeze. Your eyes watch all of her. All of her, yeah, What is he, 10 now? 11? He knows where to look, I guess. She returns to the carriage, leaning on a guardsman's shoulder as he gracefully climbs back inside. The soft handkerchief feels warm in your hand. You fold it carefully and hide it in your pocket. Carriage drives away, marked by the thudding rhythm of hooves. Until that day, you associated the Melanides dynasty with nothing but indifferent cruelty. But now your breast pocket holds the proof of yet another quality they possess: beauty. Alright, that's another 2 years gone. Gonna end the episode here. Thanks a lot for watching. If you're enjoying the content, hit that subscribe button or the like button, both are fine. I will see you in the next episode.